Hey folks, welcome back to Biomassed. Pokey here. Just got back from the party at the top of the world, which is after the final day of Eve Fanfest. So I didn't do a video yesterday. I do apologize for that. We unfortunately came back really late from the pub crawl. I was tipsy, exhausted. We just went to bed. So we were busy all day today, and I just got back, so I wanted to make sure I did both days for this video. So yesterday, not so much in terms of news for Nova for what was announced. However, two pretty cool things happened. So we went and took a tour of CCP Studios. That was really cool. Just kind of getting to see where all the magic happens, that sort of thing. Rattati showed us around. We kind of took a look at some cool stuff, some concept art that they revealed the next day actually for Eve Fanfest. It was related to the Eve expansion, not Nova, but saw that. I got to see the 3D printed Galente assault rifle and Caldari helmet that they did for some promotional stuff. That was really cool. I really wish I had those, but unfortunately we didn't get to steal them. So yeah, so we saw some cool stuff. Kind of talked a little bit. Just walked around, looked at the studio. Mostly all of the devs were gone for FanFest, so it was not much going on there. But we got to see kind of where they work and their workstations and some of the stuff that was going on there. That was really cool. So special thanks to CCP Rattati for showing us around. That was really badass. So we went and got a bite to eat, and then we went on the pub crawl. And so myself, Darth Carbonite, Aeon Amati, Livvy, and Denny Fleetfoot were in Rattati's group for the pub crawl. So we got a bit of a late start. They screwed up the bus arrangements, but we finally got going. And so they took us around, and we went to, first, a bar that's also a horse ranch. So we got to pet some horses, and if you've never seen Icelandic horses, they're really small, but they've got like a special way they run, which is unique to their breed, I guess. So that was pretty cool. So pet some horses, got something to drink. Then we went to another bar, which they had this like crazy, like Renaissance Festival style battle, but with Vikings, like killing each other in the parking lot. That was kind of crazy. So we did that, got some drinks there, and then finally we actually ended up at the bar that is like directly below CCP Studios, and that was wild. Like everyone from the pub crawl was there. It was absolute madness, but it was a blast. So we got to go with Rattati, CCP Falcon, and a guy named Kevin, who does not have a dev name yet, but Kevin is awesome, and CCP Wingman, I think his name was. All really badass guys. They had a good time. They all loosened up, and we were singing and doing all kinds of stuff on the bus. It was a lot of fun. In terms of talking to him, sat down. We talked a little bit with CCP Eagle, kind of about monetization actually for Nova. Not a lot of like specific details, but just kind of their philosophy and that sort of thing. And it was really had a good conversation about respecting the player in terms of monetization that feels like you want to be part of it rather than you're forced to pay for it, and respecting the players and making them enjoy the process of buying cosmetics and that sort of thing. So I think that kind of what the community wants and what they're looking at are kind of on the same page. That's really good to hear. I know that there was some more aggressive monetization stuff at the end of Dust. That's not really the direct angle they're going at. They want to take this in a very appreciable, reasonable and respectful way. So, like I said, no specific details. They weren't going to obviously get into that with us for, clearance reasons. But that was a good conversation. So, we had a really good time. It was good hanging out with them, and it was a lot of fun. I'd do it again. I'm not sure if I liked the whole going from like multiple bars like in the outskirts. Like they were cool and unique, but we also spent a lot of time on the bus itself and not so much time sitting down talking, which I probably would have liked. But I can see why people might have liked the more roundabout tour with some of the lesser known bars in the outskirts of Reykjavik. So it was fun though. I had a really good time. That was well worth it. So if you ever do FanFest and they have a pub crawl, it's probably worth the money to sign up. It was a lot of fun and a really good experience. So we got back, I'm not even sure what time it was, but we walked all the way back from CCP Studios to our hotel, and we're both exhausted, pretty much just collapsed into bed. So then today happened. Livvy and I did some shopping for our families, that sort of thing, souvenirs. But the big thing was obviously the closing ceremony, which was really cool. They kind of went over a lot of the details about, what happened at Fanfest and kind of a recap of the whole thing. Talked a little bit about what Fanfest is going to be like moving forward. So if you haven't heard, they're kind of doing this Fanfest around the world thing. So in 2019, there will not be a Fanfest in Iceland, but instead they're going to do events in, I believe, Vegas, London. They might do one on the East Coast of the United States. What were some other ones, Livvy?
Oh, let's see. I know that they were hitting up. I think Ireland was one.
Ireland,
Dublin.
Dublin was
Was
one.
definitely one.
And was there one in Germany?
You know, I'm trying to think of the map. I didn't see Germany. It felt like there was something south still. I'm just not quite sure.
Okay.
But we can get that map and have it put up.
Yeah, it's part of the closing keynote, so that's available. But they're gonna be doing a lot more, like not necessarily like smaller events, but just trying to bring the stuff you see at FanFest to locations that are more easily accessible for people around the world. So it's great for us because we live like an hour flight away from Las Vegas. Both Livvy and I live in Phoenix, Arizona, so we can get there really easily. So unless something really catastrophic happens, we will be at Vegas this year, which is October 19th to the 21st, I believe. So we'll be at that one, kind of doing the same thing we are doing here, but we'll be covering that one at the very least. Probably not going to do London. I can't land a second international trip that close, but we'll be there at least this year in 2018 for Vegas. So that should be good. Then after that, we kind of all took a break, and then we came back for the party at the top of the world. So that's basically a giant music dance party that they have for many, many hours late into the night. So I think it started at 8 o'clock is when, 8 o'clock. So we go in, and they had like a DJ from CCP. They had Permaband, which is a band that often does these events. They're made up of developers from CCP. So, if you want to see like CCP Guard bouncing around the stage, yelling and screaming, it's a pretty fun show. And then the last guy they had on was Bass Hunter, which I guess is a very popular DJ from Sweden. So they had a lot of music. It was very loud. I can't hear very well right now because we were up close taking photos of what was going on. But it was good. It was good. People were having a good time. They were dancing. There was lots of alcohol to be had. So it was a lot of fun. Like I said, that was kind of included with the package for FanFest. So if you do go to a FanFest, that is just included with your ticket price. Worth checking out if you want to have a good time and do some partying. So that was basically what we did for the last 2 days. Tomorrow was kind of a personal day for Livvy and I. We're going to take a break from CCP-related stuff, but we'll probably check in and kind of tell you about our experiences with what we do. But so that was the last 2 days. Sorry about not getting the video out yesterday. We were so dead to the world. There was no way. So just wanted to get it done. Now you can tell I'm exhausted because it's like 2 a.m. But
you're fading off into the darkness.
I'm fading off into the darkness.
Yes.
So, thanks for joining us, and see you tomorrow.